Hello folks, how you doing? It's Mark back again with another one of This Is How We Did It. This time we're on to volume 30. And basically today is going to be about the art of digging, which is an overused term, let's be honest. Digging for records. But of course sort of refers to putting your hands in crates and crawling around in charity shops and old record shops. So I thought we'd look at some of the most famous loops in hip-hop, certainly from the sort of late 80s and 90s era. And I thought we'd start by looking at Wiggle Waggle, sampled by King B, backed by Dope Demand, and also basically going through some other classics like Apple by Roysopp and Amerie One Thing, and of course Beyonce. So we've got all of these big tunes which seemingly all come from the same era. So here we go then. Let's have a look at one of the first rules of hip-hop regarding loops and sampling is that you're supposed to find things first and then not use them again. Okay, so let's talk about King B. He wasn't the first to use Wiggle Waggle, because here we have Priority Ron. SP1200. Okay, so King B made that one big. Probably the one that most people know. Originally a sample of Herbie Hancock, Wiggle Waggle. Okay, 1969. That year is going to take quite a lot of samples out of this next bit, right? Okay, so Apple by Roysopp, 2001. That was okay, and the sample is Bob James, which you've been into the Bob James. How many times he's been sampled? Like probably he must be in the top 5 of people sampled the most. So let's have a look at that. King of the Roads piano. So beautifully recorded, this stuff. Okay, so that's Bob James. This is the part of it. It's called You're Right as Rain. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. Bob, you're in New York in a taxi once again. Taxis, been mentioning those a lot recently. Okay, so Apple by Roysopp. Yeah, I don't have to play it. You know what that came from. So next, moving into some R&B, because there was obviously like a bit from like the 2000 through to 2005. There's a lot of R&B hits being made that used big samples. But like again, what I want to try to say is about this law in hip hop. Less sampling goes on nowadays, so it's not talked about so much, but basically it was you dig in order to find samples that haven't been used before, right? You're trying to outstrip the competition by going into crates and areas and learning and knowledge of records, so that when you find samples, nobody else has used them. Okay, so that gives you an edge. So 1969 again, the meters. Now the meters have been hammered by everyone. Everyone had been sampling the meters for a long time, but the guy who produced Amerie One Thing, which was a bit of a sort of R&B hit in the 2000s, decided to chop up Oh Calcutta. Okay, there we go. Right, so that was nice. What was good about that is that was an album that everyone had sampled it, but nobody took that part. Okay, and someone made an R&B tune. So that's using the old hip hop rules of doing something first, and then of course, Are You My Woman, Chai Lights. You probably all know this, but I'll play it to you anyway, so you can see how using something first can make hit records. Pretty cool flip, because if you think about it, it's been slowed down, and you wouldn't naturally go for that unless you're probably trying to make a house tune. So obviously being slowed down did a good job on that. So look, where are we going with this, right? What is this art of digging that I'm talking about? So basically, you're trying to find samples that no one's used, and you're trying to flip them in ways that no one's flipped existing samples, which of course is a thing. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this particular presentation today is because I had a kind of pretty incredible experience where I went to this charity shop at the bottom of Kensal Rise Chamberlain Road there, and someone had just dropped off about, I don't know, about a foot of records that were all brand new, and they're all from like 1980 to 1983, and they all kind of looked like this. They were like Korean and South Korean records, and I thought, you know what, I picked them up for 14 quid with 14 albums for 14 quid, and I sat there, and it was some of the most bizarre music I've ever heard. It was like Korean artists trying to sound like Bonnie Tyler soft rock. It's quite obscure and bizarre. So anyway, I sat there. It took me a long time to find anything, but boy did I find something, right? So basically, I'll see if I can do a little example of live digging and how sort of heartbreaking it is, and how bad it is a lot of the time. Okay, where are we? Yeah, it's Korean Bonnie Tyler ballad stuff, right? Kind of look awful. Because it's not even like of that era, of that area. It's like an attempt. So anyway, I got to the end of it, and this is all interesting area, yeah? Because there's no drums, and it's, you know, it's got an emotional vibe. So anyway, this track, tootling on. Okay, so we got a straight beat, close to hip hop. The ears are picking up. Okay. It's coming. Here's the break. All right, we're having that then. All right, so South Korea, 1982, in the sampler with CeeLo, and this is what happened. is sped up.
Every so often, I on and off them.
I wanna go, shit, and you know it.
Well, is there anyone else that you could go get? Cool, her back okay. See if she'll play with face. You the one girl, you the one girl, you the one girl, you the one girl. Put your hand in. The one girl, you the one girl, you the one girl, you the one girl. Put your hand in. You the one girl. Platinum.
Okay, that's it. That's basically making records out of other people's mistakes. Anyway, whatever it was, I'm sure she had a good time. I can't tell you anything about it because it's all in Korean, but it's from 1981, 82 and 84. It's obviously a compilation of wonderful South Korean ballads. But anyway, that's about the art of digging. That's basically about, don't go and look for 70s funk. Don't go and look for stuff that looks like it's going to be full of samples. Go and buy weird stuff, right? Like this Thomas Dolby album is what I remixed Aim by Sale with Kate Rogers on the vocal. I took stabs off this, yeah? And just like that, with this Korean record, experiment, you know? Because where nobody has trod, there will be lots of gold, okay? This is How We Did It, Volume 30, The Art of Digging. And I will catch you real soon because things are about to get a little more interesting around here. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye-bye.